Good morning, everyone. It's 9 o'clock, June 23, 2025, and our regular Commissioners' Court is now in session. First item on the agenda is roll call by our County Clerk, Mary Jane Gavial-Benoit. Mary Jane, good morning.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners.
Good morning.
Judge Rasno,
Present.
Commissioner Moya,
Present.
Commissioner Morales, Commissioner Solis,
Present.
Commissioner Garza.
Present.
We have a quorum, Judge.
Thank you, Mary Jane. Will everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 4, Communications, Commissioners.
Judge, I know we have a upcoming firework display by Zapata County News along with Zapata County. Miss, do we have a location for the firework display?
Yes, we do. Like I said,
Morning, Karen.
I just got
Morning,
through
Karen.
talking to the sheriff. Also, because we have a lot of problems when we announce it ahead of time, they just really come down. And where we're gonna have it again is at, since I have to say, the west side of the bridge, under the bridge. But, I mean, 2 years ago when I went there, we had 4-year-olds on 4-wheelers. And we had adults. I kept trying because we usually set up about 7 o'clock, you know. And I had adults still going through. And I asked them to please not, you know, because they go clear down that road and turn around and come back. And they go right through the middle of them. And they didn't pay any attention to me. But like I say, I've talked to the sheriff so that, you know, hopefully, because that's why we usually don't announce it.
I think it's very important, especially since last year, you know, there was a change of location. And we did get a lot of phone calls, you know, a lot of people, you know, weren't able to see it or whatnot. So what time does will it begin?
It's usually right at 9 o'clock.
9
It's
o'clock.
when it turns dark. That time is about 9 o'clock.
And it'll be on the east side, on the island,
No, west.
west.
So that's close.
I killed my vehicle the last time I went on the east. Yeah, so we'll do it on the west side.
Is there a clear area there, or there's
Yes.
a lot of vegetation now over the years that
Yeah.
has grown up?
Yeah, but we usually get, you know, like underneath the bridge off to the left, there's some clearing over there, and that's usually where we put it. And we take water with us, we take jugs of water, we take bottled water.
I'm sure the fire department will be
And,
there as well.
yes, the fire department already knows where it's at. All I have to do is go in and sign the form.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Right around the corner.
That's definitely around the corner. That pretty much means summer's coming to an end. Sheriff, good morning, Sheriff.
Any other communications, Commissioners? Of course, we've got that ribbon cutting for the public transit, later this morning at 10:30. We'll try to go through the agenda and make sure we can all be there for that ribbon cutting as we bring public transportation upgrades to the county. We'll move on to public comments. This section provides the public the opportunity to address the Commissioners' Court on any item on the agenda. Any members of the public at this time? If not, we'll move on to item number 6, approval of invoices. In your invoices, in your packets, Commissioner, we have invoices from June the 6th, 2025 to June the 18th, 2025, for a total of $629,243.88.
Motion to approve is presented.
Motion to approve presented by
Second.
Commissioner Solis.
I'll second it.
Seconded by Commissioner Garza. Any discussion? I think it is a large amount for a 2-week period, but we had some, one large amount was $175,000 from SB 22 that, the county attorney received as a part of the grant funding, that was not utilized, that funding, so we had kept it, to see what, instructions, the state would, be bringing on, and we did return, those $175,000 back to the state, so that's a large expense. And then we had some other, rather large, premium, expenditures with our insurance, liability insurance, so that kind of brought the total up higher, so. I've got a motion second, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carried. Item number 7 is approval of checks issued In your packets also, we have checks from June the sixth, 2025 through June the 18th, 2025 for a total of $629,243.88.
Motion to approve is presented.
Motion to approve presented by Commissioner Solis.
I'll second that.
Seconded by Commissioner Garza. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We don't have any presentations or reports this morning. We'll move on to the action items. We will deliberate and consider action on item number 8 to approve a quote for the repair of the AC compressor, which includes parts, labor, and warranty at the Henry Martinez Civic Center. Commissioner Morales, couldn't be here this morning. He advised me that the unit was out at the community center in San Ignacio, and the estimate was for $6,320. These are almost what you call emergency purchases, so I hope it's been installed. I'm not sure, but that would be the amount that.
Where would this be coming out from? What line is it?
The building maintenance, yeah, non-department building
Motion
maintenance.
to approve is presented.
Seconded, Judge.
Motion by Commissioner Solis, seconded by Commissioner Moya. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 9 is to approve the air evac rate for fiscal year 2025-2026 to be effective January the 1st, 2026. And morning, Ms. Nelly.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. On this one, the rate did increase, it was the same as last year, the only thing we're gonna renew is the contract.
Okay.
So the rates are at $7.
$7?
Yes, per household, per employee.
Motion to approve the rate as presented at $7.
Motion by Commissioner Solis.
I'll second that.
Seconded by Commissioner Garza. So I wonder what our participation rate in countywide, do you have numbers, as far as the general public, are they able to enlist enrollment?
They can privately if they go through,
Air evac?
Through air evac.
I wonder if we can get that information out to the general public. I know this applies to county employees and all school district employees, but if that service can be afforded to.
I know that he's tried to do enrollments. I don't know exactly what kind of response he's gotten from the community.
Okay, so maybe we can follow up with that and.
I can definitely ask him and see if we can set up an enrollment for the community.
Yes,
Maybe somewhere here at the courthouse.
That would be beneficial for the community.
Got a motion second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 10 is to approve the emeritus dental and vision rates for fiscal year 2025 and 2026 as presented.
Judge Commissioners, on this one, we are going to see a slight increase. This is going to be, for a 2-year period. So right now, we're currently at $27.56, the renewal rate is $29.76. We do, the county does pay for employees at 85%. So the rate for employee only will increase to $2.06, which is not a whole lot, but it's maybe like less than 10 cents per pay period that they'll see.
And the benefits, is there any increase in how much they'll help out with?
The benefits, everything, the plan is the same.
Same?
The visions remain the same.
Motion to approve, the changes as presented.
Motion by Commissioner Solis.
I'll
Is there a
second that.
Seconded by Commissioner Garza. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you, Ms. Nelly. Item number 11 is to hire Ramiro Guerrero, and there's a typo, Commissioner, it should be Junior, Ramiro Guerrero Junior, for the position of maintenance/custodian at the Zapata County Public Library in slot 1060, slot number 4. The Friends of the Library, I guess the board, made the recommendation to hire Mr. Guerrero after interviewing several applicants. Something that I would bring to the court for consideration, so the salary for this slot currently is $11.99, and that was due to the fact that initially a long tenured employee who retired had made his way at earning that salary. The other 2 slots that are there are the 2 clerks that have been there, several years. They're at the minimum 1048. If the court would consider bringing this slot in at
1048.
well, he is a county employee already at 1048. I would say just the difference between $11.99 and 1048, which is almost $1.50, $1.51, be distributed evenly amongst the three slots, and that will get all of them to 1098. And so,
Would that change,
not the budget,
wouldn't know, but would that change maybe, the person's interest for the position?
I don't know, I mean, he's still getting a raise from his current salary, with your crews.
So what was the difference?
This
50 cents.
This, problem, which I consider keeps coming up with employees that are tenured in their positions, and somebody new is coming in earning a lot more than they've been earning, and they do,
Yeah, but he's been with the county for a while.
yeah.
Yeah, he's been with the county for a while as well.
So he'll be coming in at, a lot higher than the other two clerks that have been there for a good while.
So you wanna split it up in 3 ways?
Yeah, so each one would be at about 1098. All three of them would be at the same rate at 1098.
It just depends, do we have Miss Gutierrez available? It just
She
depends how
did-
she did the interviews at the time, I would say.
Yeah.
You know, if she presented at $11.99 an hour, I think.
Yeah, I don't know if she did or not, but I mean, it's a reoccurring issue that comes up, I think, we had a maintenance position that came up here with, at the courthouse, and it was a $12 position. The gentleman started at 1048, which I think it should hold further departments to, advise those employees that, these are the beginning rates. I think it allows for, I guess, the other employees to feel valued.
Of course,
Yeah.
definitely, I understand that. What
Yeah.
I'm just saying is, I don't know how it was presented during the interview.
I'm not sure.
You know, so I think we need to ask, Ms. Becky Gutierrez to see.
Yeah.
How, I mean, if it's gonna affect, the decision for this gentleman, I mean, I don't think so, but,
Well, I mean, it's up to the, but I'm just bringing it up. It's a
Right.
recurrent problem. I think for morale's sake and for, just fairness.
Right,
at
no,
least-
I agree with that, I just,
Yeah.
what is the rate of, Nasa?
1088.
1098.
What happens also, Judge, the supervisors or the, elected officials, for someone like that, they don't wanna bring them down and then lose that money, so that.
Well, and that's
yeah,
fine,
yeah.
and they're not losing the money, and especially with the library that, for accreditation purposes, we do need to have a constant level of funding, so this is not changing that. I'm just saying, okay, we've got two employees that are really that are deserving of a raise, or at least be comparable.
Right.
Bring somebody brand new and they're earning a lot more I think can be difficult on the employees that are there.
I agree, I mean, all our employees deserve raises,
Yeah.
in my opinion, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe in the budget, maybe can we readjust in the budget, leave it as it is, not move anything, and then the budget's a couple months away.
Well, then the person will be getting a demotion or a loss in salary, so I think the time to do it is to do it right now, yeah.
She's not here.
Let's have somebody call her and we can skip it and go to the next one.
You want me to call her?
Yeah, I think we could, we can call her to see how she brought it up on the interviews.
Okay, so we'll recall, item number 11, we'll go to 12, request to hire a CAPES Resources Group to provide Zapata County with professional services related to infrastructure financing, which is a water and wastewater rate study for a total fee not to exceed, $35,000 for CAPES. Mr. Trevino, morning, Ralph.
Commissioners, morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Yes, this is a request to hire CAPEX to do our rate study. We were going with Communities Unlimited. They have been working on it, but there's a change in administration, and they told us based on the numbers of customers that we had and the revenue that they were not able to provide that service for us. We have used CAPEX in the past, county has.
Yeah.
I know Mr. Jeff Snowden, he's done work with the county, he's still doing
He
work.
has done work with the county as far as tax abatements for renewable projects and for waterworks rate studies also.
Yes, sir.
In the past.
He says that if given this opportunity, he could knock it in about 60 to 70 days. So he's done work with all sorts of, I left the packet there from Laredo, Alice, Rio Grande, all the way to the valley, Eagle Pass. He's got like a whole list of clients that he's done work with before. Price that we're looking at, he says no more than 35. The phone, he told me about 30, but just in case there's any that,
On a yearly basis?
this
Just for the
One-time fee.
One time.
Just a one-time fee for, that rate study that, when was the last rate study we completed? It's been more than 5 years?
Yes, sir, yeah. It went in effect, 21 was the last, rate.
Yeah.
Change, so.
Yeah, it is time, to see where we're at, comparable to other, water service providers in our area. See, we make sure we're not overcharging or undercharging, to make sure that, the revenues are there with the expenditures, which keep going crazy.
Crazy high, and he says, you know, this is to be fair both to the county and to the customers, of course, so. it's very
And he should have it ready 60 to 70 days?
He says, yeah, about 60, 70 days, he would have ready, so.
Motion to approve, to hire Capex, Resources Group to provide Zapata County with professional services.
Questions, any Commissioner Solis?
What is this gonna be coming out of?
Yeah, that's what, Ralph, so is this gonna be something that your water plant, do you have a consulting line item, or is it?
I don't have a consulting line item.
So it would be coming out of our consulting line item, which is at, zero. But, we can wait till, next budget to place it on, or do we, adjust our rates as needed?
The sooner that we adjust the rates, the better, because we are behind, and as far as like materials and services, the prices keep
Yeah.
going up.
It's come out of the,
Consulting line item, but basically our fund balance.
I mean, we gotta do it now or.
what about the CO? We can't use it, the CO?
What?
The CO?
No,
Okay.
well, not that one, it's for that.
It won't qualify. A motion on the floor.
Motion by Commissioner Solis to approve to come out of consulting, seconded by, Commissioner Moya. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you, Ralph. Item number 13 is to review status and take action on current county projects. You got the call of.
Yes, I got the call. Good morning, Judge.
Morning.
Commissioners.
Morning.
It's Armando Guerra, from Engineering. So, on the drainage, so for that one, they already, I believe, completed the installation of the water line. There was an issue, and, for that one, he needs to be done by the end of this coming week.
This week, yeah.
Yes, so that's what's pretty pressing. For that one, I have two invoices. One of them is which is for 70, I think it's for almost 80% complete. It's invoice number 5 for the amount of $14,919 with 75 cents.
14,900 and what?
19
With 75.
with 75 cents.
Invoice number what?
That will be invoice number 5. And then I have 3 invoices related to the water line, that, were submitted by Muflon. They were the ones that completed the work, I believe. And these are just for your review. It's invoice, 209.76 in the amount of $2,450. That was for the work done on June 19th. And then the second one is invoice 209.77 for the amount of $3,440 for the work done on June 20th. And the last one is, invoice 209.78, the amount of $1,320 for the work done on the 21st.
Ralph, did you, Mr. Ralph, did you get an estimate on the work that was gonna be done?
I did not get to get an estimate, because it was like at the last minute, so we're running out of time. we have
So
about-
what are they charging on, based on hourly rates, or what?
Yes, so the one on June 19th, they have 10 hours, and then at $330 an hour for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. And then the track hole, $800 for the day. That's,
So for the 5 people, it was $300 an hour?
no, sorry, total, I'm sorry. 10 hours, I guess, at $33. So times 10 hours.
So they were charging for the hands $32 an hour?
33.
33,
Yeah.
not for the equipment, just for the
Just for
personnel?
yes, yeah.
I mean, that seems a little high for our area, $32 an hour for a hand.
Yeah. and those are, I guess, those were the operators, and then the track hole, they only charge, they charge $800.
Every day.
Yeah, once, yeah.
And we have a track hole, I mean, I think it's a lot of the communication that's not being communicated. I know if they would've called me, I would've gotten the track hole to you guys quickly. I just called Commissioner Garza and
Yeah,
got
we-
the
we
track
didn't-
hole and bring it, we have all the equipment, whatever we paying,
I think
especially when we don't have money. right?
Yeah,
I think we'll
present it, but we can.
yeah, we'll be discussing those.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll give you a copy, I mean,
Okay.
I have a copy here, so.
What they submitted.
Okay.
Okay, so that's it for the drainage. And then for the booster station, they will be doing the startup. I believe they're gonna be coordinating the startup for this coming week to do the formal startup, and then there's gonna be some money for the retainage on that one.
We submitted, to TDA for reimbursement. I don't know if we've received, the funds yet for both the booster station and the drainage project. I think we've got a total of almost $750,000 that we prepaid. Things are already tight, Armando,
Yeah.
on our end. So I think we should, approve these invoices, but not pay, we've got, what, 30 days to pay them, or?
Yeah, something like that.
And not pay them immediately until we receive some reimbursement, from the state.
Okay.
On that, so it's important that, you know, we, in good faith, have been funding these projects, 95% of it, but, it's getting to the end of our budget year, and, we need to receive those reimbursements before we continue to fund these projects, in a, expedient,
Yes.
time like we do, like we pay our invoices right away, but, it's hard to carry, $750,000 and not get reimbursed on it.
So we have a 60-day grace period?
Yeah, I believe so. Well, the grant allows for us to be reimbursed before we pay out. And normally contractors have a difficult time with their capital, to fund them, so, we go, above and beyond, I guess, would be, we pay on time, but, these last invoices might take a while.
No, that's fine.
But like Commissioner Moya mentioned, for future projects, if, you know, especially like a track hole, we have the equipment, you know, let's coordinate it with one of the commissioners and we'll get it out there. You know, that'll save us, you know, here and there.
Yeah, it's expensive, a little effort
It
there.
adds up, yeah.
I know our county crews were out there a few days too, prepping the project. And in the end, I don't know if that line needed to be replaced. We, didn't find a leak. It seems to be like just water draining from our huge drainage basin, and, it's not really a leak. But we got a new line in, but I think we relied on the idea that for certain it was a leak, and, it just water, with our recent rain. We've got a creek there, just draining. So, we replaced that line, but it took a lot of effort. Cause I guess, Armando, it wasn't 100% sure it was a leak on it.
Question, on the bottom of the bridge, are they gonna clean it out, or are we gonna clean it out? Cause I don't want them to do something before we decide on.
No, I think that, they're gonna clean it.
But they're gonna charge us for it?
Yeah.
Well, that's part of the grant.
Right,
Yeah, so they're gonna.
so it's gonna cover, it's not extra. that's
Right,
what it
this
is.
was extra because they couldn't work because they felt our water line was leaking.
Okay.
But in the end, it's just water seeping out of the ground because it's a slow drainage area, and so there's water accumulating, I'm not saying a huge amount. but-
Saturated water.
Huh?
It was
Like the
saturated.
water table, yeah.
Yeah, the
So,
water table maybe.
Yeah.
And I know that they wanted to move the dirt that's on the, I guess it would be the south side. I know there's dirt piled up.
Yeah.
I just haven't had time because my guys are in Los Lobos, Pedernales, they're trying to fix.
Yeah, he.
I'm spraying out everywhere, so.
Mr. Alvarez called me and
Yeah,
he
just-
said he would call me whenever he was
Yeah,
ready.
just right up there with me, cause I mean, my crew.
We
is
just have this
busy,
week, on
busy.
that project, we just have
Yeah.
the 30th.
Yeah, but to move the dirt, I mean,
Yeah.
that'll be quick,
But-
just for him to bear with me, we'll get
Yeah,
it.
but, so they need to finish the project, this week. There may be some additional costs coming to the county. So the landowner of the project, adjacent to the project, did reach out to me and wanted to visit with me on damage that was being done to what he thought was his property. And, it turns out that, we are, after speaking with Mr. Gonzalez, Premier, that we are infringing on his property with the new water line, the redirection of the new water line. And we may, have to compensate him for taking some of his property.
For an easement, or are we gonna do an easement there, or how?
We'll have to negotiate an easement. I did visit with him. We do have an easement, on a portion of his property. I mean,
Right.
it's his property, but the easement did not extend, all the way to the new
Forward.
construction that we made. So we may have to compensate him, and we'll be, reaching out to him and see how we can, come to terms with it. The line has been installed,
Right.
so, we'll deal with that.
And also, Judge, one of the landowners that let us park our equipment and stuff like that, he's asking if we can take, some loads of that caliche or whatever we have at the base and kind of fix it up there where we kind of messed it up a little bit. I don't know if y'all are okay with that, or, I mean, he did let us before potties, he let us go in and out of that property without any issues. I mean, if y'all don't
Well,
mind.
I mean, that's something we'd have to bring to board, and
Yeah.
our county attorney, we can bring it to the next meeting and discuss it. Yeah.
Okay, so I have one last one would be the water intake. That one, basically, they're requesting invoice number one for $151,691.25. And this is mainly for mobilization. They're already starting to drill the shaft, but it's mostly like they did the down payment on the pumps, because those take a long time.
Yeah.
And so that's basically what they're charging for.
And then this one will, the same comments that will
Yes.
apply. So this is a USDA project, the $1 million earmark that Congressman Cuella, secured for us. It is, an active, earmark, but reimbursements, I guess, as they come in, we will, submit payment.
Okay.
All right?
Judge, who's doing the work on that water intake?
Move on also.
Muflon. So the invoice is gonna be to Axstar?
Extra, I believe. Except not these, the smaller ones will be directly to them. I think they're not associated with the project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The small.
The
The three
smaller ones
invoices.
are.
The one for the drainage project.
Yeah, the 3 invoices, those would be for Muflon.
And what about number five, is that one for Muflon as well? Invoice number 514.
Yes, but that one's through Extra.
Extra.
Extra, okay.
So.
So we have to approve the.
And the track hole?
Well, Judge, I'll make a motion to approve invoice number five, made out to Exar in the amount of $14,919.75.
Second motion.
Second, and also the 3 invoices.
Also, the three invoices, 209-76 in the amount of $2,450, 209-77 in the amount of $3,440, and 209-78 in the amount of $1,320, made out to Muflon.
Okay.
That totals up to what, Commissioner?
Second motion.
They'll get a motion in a second, that will be.
Those
70 to 10.
70 to 10. That'll be those three of them, 70 to 10.
And then, also action on invoice number 1 for the water intake.
What was the amount of that one?
151.
The last one?
151.
151,000.
691.
691.25.
We'll include that in the motion. 151,691.25 made out to Axar. Invoice
And
number
that's
one.
for the water intake.
For the
USDA
water intake.
Yes.
So, I think we can make one motion. Is there any other ones?
No more invoices, but I
Okay.
do have a status on another.
Okay.
So, in this one, Manuel asked me to bring it up.
It was Solis.
So we met with the architect on the Rojo Arena.
Okay.
And, so basically, there's a question either to remove the bleachers completely, replace them, or keep those. But if we keep them, we need to probably add and to make them ADA compliant. The architects said that they were sturdy, they were good, but then it's gonna be up to you all to decide if we need to do a complete replacement, or just keep them, upgrade them.
It all depends on the cost.
On the cost.
How
Is it
much-
within the budget?
Yeah, they're within the budget and we can.
Okay, so then I'll.
You can bring different scenarios to us.
Okay.
And, what other, enhancements, if we leave them there, what other enhancements the project can
Can
have.
we get?
And we can work those, work that into it with the existing, and make them ADA compliant? Or, I mean,
Yeah.
I guess the best thing would get new ones, right? But
Yeah.
let's see what we're gonna lose out if we get brand new ones.
Yeah, so basically that's what they discuss and what one of the main issues they're dealing with. That's what maybe by the next one, we'll review
Okay.
options with
Well, I'm glad
price.
it's moving along, yes,
Okay.
yes.
And,
So I understand, well, Mr. Gonzalez, it's on the other project, I'm sure you're gonna bring the fire station. We were close to bidding that out.
the fire station, let me see. I'm not too sure about that one. I think, it's still not bid out, but, no, he didn't tell me about that one probably.
Okay. Well, he had mentioned at the last meeting that,
That we were close to bidding it out. Yeah, that's for sure, but I don't think we have bid it out yet.
okay, all right, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, that's for
And then the sheriff department, we have an interested sheriff, how are we doing with that project?
Yeah, we provided a layout, and an extension, it said, that added an extension to the layout, so that's where we are.
Okay.
It's been approved though, Judge, because I already.
So the layout,
Yeah, the way I saw everything and, we already approved it, it's just waiting on.
On getting the plan done.
Yes.
Getting the plan out, okay, good.
And just the boat ramp, Polina Vargas is working on a checklist that we need to get.
I know we have an extension on that one.
That is correct.
Okay.
And that's it for these projects.
Thank you, Armando, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Oh, but you're on number 14 too.
Yes, I'm on 14, yes.
To review status and take action on drainage areas. Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Let's vote on 13. A motion by Commissioner Solis, seconded by Commissioner Moya. Oh, you got all the figures?
Yes.
I think I did.
Okay, and, all those in favor say aye?
Aye.
Motion carries. Moving on to item number 14 is to review status and take action on drainage areas of concern with in different county precincts.
Yeah, so, last night when Manuel called me, so he told me basically of 4 issues, that just came up with the recent rains, and I'm gonna go one by one. Basically, so we start at precinct 1, there's on 272 Lozano Street.
Okay.
So there's currently a pipe there right now, but it's not adequate for the flow. So in the preliminary inspection that Manuel did, he's probably thinking about installing doing an inlet for that pipe. And then also, then on the back, trying to do maybe some sort of dissipator right before he gets to the neighbor on the back, because the neighbor on the back, he doesn't mind getting the water, but he doesn't want a pipe. So that's what
So we have a pipe going through his property?
we're going to 272 Lozano.
There's no drainage at all in that
There's
area.
no drainage, but there's a pipe.
As it comes, the streets meet up like this, so all that water, he's trying to build a house, and he puts the foundation, and every time it rains, it washes it out.
No, but that's Cardinal, no?
No, this is in,
Oh, this is in Lozano. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So it keeps on washing off his foundation that he.
Yeah,
puts.
oh, yeah, that is true, but there is a pipe though, right, on.
Well, he put the pipe.
Yeah, he put the
just
pipe.
bought 2 pipes and put it there to try.
So
to-
it's kinda not working, but.
Where is that? Where's that?
It's, Mr. Reesing's property, it's, it's on 272 Lozano, it's by there.
Guerrero Chiquito.
I'm trying to picture it, it's over there,
Where
Nicholson?
Marcelina lives,
Yeah.
right in front of Poli.
Oh, okay.
Right in front of police.
Right in front, yeah. And
Yeah, there's a
the
hill
issue
and-
is that all those properties are together, so I asked Mr. Gonzalez to see if we had an easement there by any chance, and they might have,
Yeah.
gone over that, but there's really no way to go about it, cause they all touch, the property lines.
Yeah, and apparently there is no easement, but,
Okay.
I mean, he could probably then get one, and then, so it would probably be the pipe, and then doing maybe an inlet in the front, and then just doing some dissipators on the back, for the neighbor on the back that they're gonna receive the water. So that was the issue on that one. And then there's a second issue on top of this one, with that guy, I don't know what his name is, but, his mother lives next to him on 270, I think, and she doesn't have sewer, she has a septic tank. And he wanted to see if she could connect to a pipe there's another pipe, there's a 4-inch pipe in which 3 properties are connected to, but the pipe is 4 inches. So right now, I mean, it's already overflowing with three connections. So what I wanted to see if you would consider possibly looking into the issue and maybe doing a complete replacement of that 4-inch line, and then having the additional line, so there will be four connections, so the 3 existing
And
ones.
she wasn't connected because of, there was just not enough volume?
I'm not too sure, but she has a septic tank.
Or
so
is there a negative flow? Does she, her house is lower than the line?
No, I'm not sure, but.
That might be an issue, that
It might
might
be an issue.
require a grinder pump. I don't know, I'm just saying why she would have not been connected initially is she might be lower than the flow.
It could be, so it was, you know, to get permission also to look into that.
Yeah.
Into that issue, so for precinct 1 on Lozano Street, it will be the drainage, to look into the drainage and look into possibly connecting, 270 Lozano on the pipe. And just for the record, the other ones are, I think 367 is the one that has the pipe on the back, and then 266 and 268 are connected to 367. So it's those 3 addresses, 266, 268, and 367 Lozano are connected to an existing 4-inch pipe with possible replacement.
Is that it? How about Cardinal?
Well, we're not.
That's on 16. That's on number
Well,
16.
Yeah, that's on 16, right, Cardinal?
Yeah.
Okay, so.
No, but
So-
it's also, it's also.
Is there a
It's
cost
also-
estimate among that Mr. Gonzalez include a cost estimate?
For Cardinal Street, we had originally a cost estimate, but it was.
No, I'm thinking for the services that I'm looking into.
Oh, no, not yet.
Yeah, okay.
We can provide that,
Okay.
for you all, for the next meeting, or for maybe.
Yeah,
maybe
Right now,
next-
it's to give permission.
Yeah, to give
Look
permission
into
to look
it,
into
it's not gonna
it.
cost us, you can afford to,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
So
Cost
then-
estimate on their services, and then we'll get a cost estimate on the whole project eventually, but
Yes.
just for you to inspect and, send your crews out there to see.
See the elevations and all
Yeah.
that.
Good, sorry.
Yeah. Well, yes, I was hoping that would come out. Usually he's not in a position to say that yet.
Bueno, before we get to Cardinal, we can go to precinct 2, there's an issue there on Lincoln Street, which is 1503 Lincoln Street. So there's a gentleman that he's willing to give a 10-foot easement, and we need to divert the water from the front of his lot to the back along the fence line. And it would be the same deal as in precinct 1, maybe install pipe with some dissipators.
That's
So-
always been an issue, and I know over the years, he's placed a berm at the end of the
Yeah.
street on the property, so you'll end up with a 3 or 4 foot size, deep puddle on the street, so we'll see, now we'll look into, so he's willing to.
He is willing to give an
We
easement.
can
He talked
look
to-
into that. I think we'll wait for the Cardinals, because there is a separate item for that.
Okay.
So, there's one right before you, and we'll call you right back on that.
Okay, no problem. And then just real quick, at the very last one, he told me about precinct 4 also on Roma Street in 19th. And it will be the same issue, it needs an inlet with the storm pipe going to the back.
Okay.
And that's so it's
Yeah,
just.
they're all a worthwhile project to look into, see how we can, make those areas better, so.
So the action item will be to give permission to look into these.
Yes.
Yes.
And Commissioner Moya has made a motion to, allow Premier Engineering to look into those and provide cost estimates on the projects and on your services.
I'll
Seconded
second.
by Commissioner, Gatsa. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 15 is to approve the interlocal agreement for 911 public safety answering phone services. Luis Ortiz, here's one from 911. Commissioners, I read, through the, Sheriff, I don't know if you have any comments on how the 911 system's operating with, I know you coordinate with your,
With Connie,
dispatch.
I do not.
Okay. So, of course, the city of Laredo, provides, the 911 response for us. We coordinate with them, and we have an agreement with them. I don't know if Mr. Figueroa, has reviewed this, he did, advise us that he won't be here this morning, so I guess we could,
Motion
table
to-
this?
you
Or you wanna approve it pending?
Pending
Yeah,
legal-
I think it's the same, contract year after year, but, we'll,
So I'll make a motion to approve the interlocal agreement pending legal review.
motion by Commissioner Solis, seconded by Commissioner Moya. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 16 is to discuss drainage issue on 306 Cardinal Street. And Mr. Gerald Castillo is here this
No,
morning?
he said he wasn't gonna be able to make it, he was tied up at work.
So he's, I guess, an every resident of the issue there.
Yeah, so this one, so basically right now the issue is, I think, there's a house that, that's not at the horseshoe, right, that on the driveway. So that's where the water currently, as part of the project on the Cardinal pavement project, that's kind of where the water was going through, but then the item was done by the gentleman next door, right? So it would be the same issue basically. It would try to be, do an inlet right in the front, across the street.
I'm very familiar with that area. The problem lot that kind of, when it rains and turns into a lagoon, and of course it's heavy clays there, so the water lasts a good while.
Yes.
Be a good stock pond. It was the cattle ranch. The problem can exist because it's a vacant lot and it's still,
And
it's a depression.
Yeah, it's a depression.
So, I don't know if it would be worthwhile for the county, it is a vacant lot, I don't know if it's for sale or not, but I would say if we build up that lot, if the county would purchase that lot and bring in, material to build it, to get rid of the depression, I think the water will flow, away from those areas, and I think that would eliminate the problem, because even if we build, drainage areas, culverts, there's still a depression there on that lot.
Still gonna sit there.
Yeah, and then part of the project was also, the original project, we already have a low water crossing, we already.
And all of that is good.
Yeah.
The problem is, you got a lot that's really has a hole in it, I mean, it's really below the street, at least 4 or 5 feet. So any drainage from the hills, or, it just ponds there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the problem. I think we should probably look into, see if the owner would sell it to the county, and then just fill it up to the level of the street where it'll drain with our improvements that we made.
That would definitely work.
Yes. I think that would be, I was thinking, because I drove by there, a couple of days after it rained, and the improvements we made are fine, and they drain well. The problem is, whatever collects there stays there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even when I was talking to Manuel last night, he mentioned that about the lot.
Yeah.
I mean, even with if we do an inlet or something, it's still lower, I mean, it's still, and it has been like that even before
Yeah.
the Cardinal Lane project.
It'll sit there for weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's heavy clay, so I think we just need to build it up, maybe the county, or even through an easement, acquire it and build it up. That might be something, possibility, we could let our attorneys handle that, if that's possible, to get, build that lot up. I think purchasing would probably be the best way to go on that, best option that way.
Probably cheaper than the improvements.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right, but we'll see if we can find the owner and try to get some information on them and see if they're willing to, bring it back to court and decide if that's what we wanna do with the purchase price or whatever, but, I think that'll take care of your problem. I know, Commissioner, you get the calls and we're having to pump it out every time, and it's whatever we do there, it's gonna be the same thing unless we backfill.
Fill it back up,
yeah, well, we have, all the people living around that area, complaining about the
Sure.
mosquitoes, the smell,
But it is a private lot, and it's nothing that the county did. What we did actually improve the area with that paving, and we did the low water crossings, and, so it just, that lot is a hole. There's a hole in that lot here.
Sounds good.
Okay, all right, thank you. Thank you.
Commissioners, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Item number 17 is to discuss, consider, and possibly approve Lone Star Strategy Group LLC to apply for the fiscal year 2025 COPS hiring program. And good morning, sir, and thank you I know you've been out for a while. You had an accident?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so good to have you back. I know Ms. Utley is glad to have you back.
Yes. So for.
Your name for the record, sir?
Oh, yes, sir. My name is Samson Rodriguez. I'm
Samson,
here
okay.
on behalf of Lone Star Strategy Group. Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. So the FY twenty-five COPS hiring program, it's a grant funded through the US Department of Justice. And the purposes of this grant is to provide funding to hire or rehire full-time career law enforcement officers to enhance community policing and crime prevention. With just some specifics on this grant, there is a 25% local match required by the county unless a waiver is approved by the US Department of Justice. And right now, they have an estimated 157 million set aside for this grant, with 250 anticipated funded projects, half of which are going to counties that service populations of 150,000 or less. And this grant would cover $125,000 per officer requested over a span of 3 years.
So it's, 3 years, 120.
So it's about 41,666 per year.
Okay.
Those are just some specifics.
I know, Sheriff, you mentioned this to me and to the commissioners, that currently there's always a need for additional law enforcement. I think we've had the discussions with, if we, apply for this grant, receive the funding for those positions, what do we do in 3 years? Do we reapply, or
So the duration of the grant goes for 60 months, and they cover 75% for the 3 years, contingent on the fact that if the project is awarded, however many positions that are funded are kept for a minimum of at least another year.
Another year.
For the hope that within the 3 years, the county would be able to budget for however many positions they apply for by the 4th year.
So initially, I don't know, how many positions were you looking at applying for, Sheriff?
I believe we said 3, right?
That's correct, we were looking at about 3 positions.
And,
So this will cover how much per officer, you said?
41,666 and 67 cents per officer.
So we would have to put in the rest?
That's correct. I
And we
believe
started
we
at
calculated the
39,000.
difference at, I think it was
started
about
at
$1,600.
Right,
when
but
we
plus,
calculated it.
plus
plus fringe benefits and all that, that's what I'm
Correct,
saying.
because it's salary and fringe benefits.
So we add an additional, what, about 20, 15, 20?
Per year.
yeah, 20, another 20.
But I believe is this including the fringe or?
That's correct, it covers salary and fringe benefits, so I got a number and I think they had said.
Well,
salary-
our minimum salary would have to be 45 for
Yes.
patrol officers, so we'd have to bring them up to 45 plus, whatever the retirement, wherever the fringe may be, which is about 15, so.
So are you
addition-
gonna include it with the SB 22 with the 45 to bring them up to 45? Cause
Well,
our
we don't-
salary is at 39.
We don't have enough.
Cause this.
The whole SB 22 is already allocated, so there wouldn't be any additional funds from SB 22 for these positions.
So would these positions be at 39? Cause that's what we have them budgeted at.
No, all positions have to be at 45.
You can't pay for the same duties you can.
Yeah, it's-
One at 30.
So, which is fine, I think, so our investment would be an additional
25%.
20,000, I think, Commissioner, right, per year,
About,
yeah. per
And the
role.
numbers that I just gave y'all were based off of the numbers that were given to me, which was based on
Right.
39. It was, I believe it was 39, it was around 40, I think it was 45,933, that was with fringe benefits, but at 39.
so what I'm getting at is for an additional 60,000, we'll be getting 3 officers for $60,000 a year.
More than likely, yes,
You know,
sir.
which is, pretty low.
Well, it sounds like it's more, cause you're basing it on a salary of 39,000.
Correct, and then
So we're
once we
bringing
did the
it
fringe benefits, we were
So
at
it's about-
45, but that wasn't starting at
So it's about
45,000.
7,000 per
Yeah.
employee, so 7 times 3 is like.
We'd have to start them at 45 to comply with the SB 22 requirement.
So it'll be like 21,000
Yeah,
for the
about,
fringe
you know, so
benefits.
what I'm getting at is about, 3 officers for 60,000 a year, which is pretty good.
Yeah, and that's including the 25% and everything.
Yes.
So you said, 3 years and 1 additional year, on the county's.
That would be, all positions would be solely on the county for the
Yeah,
4th
about
year.
50.
That's contingent with funding, that, like, if you accept the funding, if awarded, that you would retain those positions for at least
And 1 more year.
Is that part of the 25%?
No, so the 4th year would be solely on the county, all 3 positions in full would
So
be
it's
on the county.
25% plus that final year.
That's correct.
So it'd be at almost close to 200,000, we'd be putting in the county.
The hope is with the grant is that they say in there that by, like, hopefully within the 3 years, that little by little, the counties would be able to budget for those positions by the 4th year.
How's it looking in the future? For budgets.
I think certainly, the sheriff would like those positions, I know, we're always seem to be short on patrol officers, so I mean, it'd be a benefit to our
I
community.
think the
Whether we
community
can
in general-
afford it, after that fourth year.
Yeah.
You know, that's the only.
Well, after the third year, cause the fourth year's on us.
That's
Yeah,
correct.
well, let's say we commit to doing a fourth
Yeah.
year, but then to carry that on and on.
Moving forward.
Yeah.
Past the fourth year would be solely up to the county. It's only, the grants only continue that they're carried for one more year after the 3-year funding period.
So the fourth year would cost us around how much?
Like 130.
About 130,000.
160.
No, because it's the 45 times 3.
It's 52,000 more
Yeah,
or less.
I'm estimating,
fringe
yeah,
benefits.
maybe like
Times 30.
150, 160, cause you still
Like
have to do benefits.
156,000.
Just on
Hundred and
salaries.
thirty-five just a salary plus. the
No,
fringe.
that's already including the French, cause it's about 7,000 per employee for the French benefits, if you add them to this. So it's 45 plus 7 for the French, it's 52. At 3, that's 156,000.
Yeah, 156.
Sheriff, do you have any updates on the per diem, on the inmates?
That's what we're currently working on. So,
Do you have a timeline when we will see that?
I think I need to finish it before, but I'm waiting on the marshals to come in. But hopefully, I think they said by September. But I believe I can do it.
By September?
Before then, I just need to get started. Once I get started, it should be pretty
Yeah,
quick.
I mean, this is
As long as I
a
get
win-win,
numbers.
you know, for the first 3 years, it's a win-win for the community. You know, it's a win-win for the sheriff's office, it's a win-win for the community. You know, you get 3 officers, you know, for 60,000. The question is the fourth year, but I think by the fourth year, I think we'll have that, you know, I think
I
we'll have.
believe so.
I think we'll have that increase on the
It's
inmates.
about almost 2K.
So right now, we need, what is the action that needs to be taken, Judge?
Just to approve
To
for the
approve
application.
for them
Make
just
a
to
motion to
apply.
approve the application, Judge.
Motion by Commissioner Solis, seconded by Commissioner Moya. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 18 is to discuss, consider, and possibly approve Lone Star Strategy Group to apply for the staffing for adequate fire and emergency response, the SAFER grant. Also for the fire department, I see Danny does.
Yes, sir. So the Staffing for Adequate Fire and Emergency Response, or the SAFER grant, this is a grant focused towards enhancing the safety of the public, and the firefighters with respect to fire-related hazard incidents and fire in general. This grant provides funding to fire departments to assist in increasing the number of firefighters they have to help the community. So with this grant, there's a 25% local cost share match if the county chooses to go with hiring activity. This would be for the first 2 years, and then in the third year, it would be a 65% local match. Should the county choose to do R&R or recruitment and retention, there is no cost share match on the county's part. There's no award season or floor for this one, and they have an expected $324 million allocated for this, with about 300 expected awards to be funded.
So this is strictly personnel, there's no equipment.
Correct.
Okay.
And what are the parameters of the recruitment? I mean, what is it that we have to do?
For recruitment and retention, I believe if there is already volunteer firefighters in place or within the community, I believe this would provide the funding to bring them on. But paid to not be volunteer anymore, to my knowledge.
Okay. Yeah, that would be.
And I can get more specifics on that, but I know that for, if you do decide to go recruitment and retention, like what you already have, or who's in the community, there is no local cost share match.
So this is also a 3-year, correct?
2 year.
2 year, and then the third year
will
is
be on the
65.
65.
Correct.
So how many positions, chief, are we looking at?
Those would be 3 as well, one per each shift.
And the 25% cost share matches depending on the positions and,
What's the starting pay?
Yeah.
So this is EMTs or just fire?
Just fire, but they are required by the state to hold their fire license. They have to have a bare minimum of at least a ECA, which is right under a EMT basic. They cannot just hold if they're gonna hold a fire license, they have to have a minimum ECA on the medical side. So they're gonna be ECA/firefighters.
It would be the same thing, you know, it's a win-win, you know, for the community. I think,
What's the starting salaries for those?
For a firefighter, EMT would be, well, it's we have it under just the hourly rate, $13.33 an hour. That's 27,728, but that's at 80
Minimum.
hours a day, I believe.
So,
Not including overtime.
That's right.
does this include the overtime also, or is it just regular hours?
I wanna say it's just regular hours, but I can double check.
Yeah, 'cause that would be important.
We can start the process. I'll make a motion to approve, Lone Star to apply for the safer grant.
I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner Solis, seconded by Commissioner Garza. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. All right, thank you.
Process started.
Yeah, well, we've got some consent items, Commissioners, line item transfers 20, 21,
Motion to
22,
approve
23.
20, 21, 22, and 23, line item transfers.
Motion by Commissioner Solis to approve line item transfers as presented, seconded by
second it.
Commissioner Moya. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Judge, can we, recall number 11? Line item 11?
To hire Ramiro Guerrero Jr. as a position for maintenance custodian at Zapata County Public Library in slot 10.
I spoke to her.
Slot number 4.
I spoke to her, I don't know if y'all want to, speak to her directly. I asked her the same questions y'all asked her of what she wanted to do, and she did say she wanted to split it, evenly amongst the 3.
Okay.
Motion
So-
to approve, Judge,
okay.
at 1098.
1098
per
per
person.
input.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Solis to approve the hire of Ramiro Garcia for slot 4 at
Guerrero.
1098.
Junior.
Junior, yes, junior is very important, yes. Seconded by Commissioner Garza. And the remaining, salary of that slot to be divided evenly amongst slot number 2 and 3.
All 3
All
positions.
3 will be at 1098, which is, I think. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. We've got some resolutions, Commissioners, and proclamations. To approve a resolution for the fiscal year 25, cops hiring program, so we can do that.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Solis,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner Garza. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. And, item number 25, to approve resolution for the staffing for adequate fire and emergency response and safer grant.
Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Commissioner Garza, seconded by Commissioner Solis. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. And item number 26 is a resolution in support of the county clerk's application for the 2025 CAVA election security subgrant.
Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Commissioner Garza, seconded by Commissioner Solis. Mary Jane,
Yeah.
what exactly is that?
It's, it's a $39,000, grant, it's for security, so it would cover,
Oh, you have to.
Yeah.
Okay.
it would cover a little bit of that big expense we're getting ready to make for the equipment.
Okay. Very well. Here's the final three. And,
Excuse me, Judge,
I don't.
I also went in with, Roxy
Uh-huh.
to check about that, cause it's supposed to cover both the voter registration and.
Can I borrow a blue pen?
And
Okay,
county
good.
clerk, so I don't know,
Well, what can we
Mine's
get
erasable.
some funding for? Yeah, that's whatever help we can get.
a little bit, yes, if we can.
Yes.
So, if you need anything from me, just you let me know.
I will.
It's 10 o'clock, Commissioner, so we got,
We got something.
At 10:30.
well, it's 10:30 already?
No, it's 2 to 10:30.
And what time is it right now?
9:57.
Okay, good.
Judge,
All right,
make a
so we
motion
got
to
one
enter
executive session item. Commissioner Solis, makes a motion to enter to executive session, seconded by Commissioner Garza. The item to be heard is item, number 19, to discuss Zapata County water plant personnel and operational issues. And this item will be heard under Government Code Section 551.071, consultation with attorney, and Government Code 551.074, personnel matters. We are now in executive session.
I make a motion to return to regular session, please.
I'll second that
By
motion.
Commissioner Solis to return to regular session, seconded by Commissioner Gatsa. For the record, no action was taken in executive session. Item number 19 is to discuss Zapata County Water Plant personnel and operation issues.
No action, Judge.
No action by, Commissioner, Solis, seconded by Commissioner Gatsa, no action taken. Motion to adjourn by Commissioner Moya, seconded by Commissioner Solis. We are now adjourned and join us there at the ribbon cutting. Okay. Yeah.
Tengo todo bloqueado.
Al ratito te llevo copias de esto. Ay,